What I think about Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla say he want NBA fighting to come back. My reaction is he is tripping. He is tripping. First of all, right, you got the ring. You got the best team in the NBA. Tatum and Brown law firm is legit. You got a strong squad of guys. Um, we're not going back to the way the NBA was. Joe Mazzulla, you talking about something that ain't never gonna happen again. They didn't bring in the foreign based players to be fisticuffs. They didn't bring in the 3-point shooting for fisticuffs. They didn't push the center out the paint for fisticuffs. They created a league where they want scoring. You're gonna have Adam Silver call you into his office like David Stern would and say, you got a second chance with your career because we know about your background. You might want to think about this. We're not going back to that. They don't want to go back to 86, 82 games ending or 92, 91 at the end. They want what they got. They got a product like a pinball machine. They want an arcade. They want NBA to a 2K, 25, 26. They don't want to go back to 1992, 93 or '02 or '03. They want it to be where it is. Because most kids, people growing up today, they can blame it on AAU, but the Steph Curry impact of what they got. Everybody and their daddy and their uncle and their cousin and their grandpa and them is shooting threes in parking lot and everything to see. They're not going for no clothesline. Them days of the Kevin McHale clothesline or Kurt Rambis ain't coming back. The Malice in the Palace ain't coming back. They don't want you to be too physical with people. They want you to allow Bunny Hopping, LeBron James, and others to walk and carry and palm the ball and don't think nothing about it. They don't want that kind of brand of basketball no more. They outlawed it because they wanted to sell it for a more corporate superstar friendly. You can blame Michael Jordan to an extent of it but it was physical when he played. But when his style started to dominate and then they prolonged from that, they're never going back to the bad boy Pistons. That's the reasons why you don't hear anything talked about the Detroit Pistons in one other way. And Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and those guys don't get their due. Well, Rodman, when he got to Chicago, got way more hype and fanfare than he was with the bad boy Pistons and Chuck Daly. And we can go on and on about that. There's politics within that politics. Cats who played during that era, I've got videos coming out talking about that. We're preparing for it. But it's what they allowed. I know the Knicks were physical and the Pacers were too, and some other teams. But that end of that era and the Heat were too. The philosophy, but those 82, 80 games, they let that be for the 90s. They're not bringing that up to the date. Today, 82, 80s in halftime. They've done what they want. The problem is it's fundamental basketball. And what they consider flagrant ones or flagrant two. If you want to see some hard fouls, you gotta watch the WNBA. They don't want that in the NBA. They've outlawed it. And that's what they've done. So I don't know what Joe Mazzulla going on about because teams in the East don't really play that hard. I mean, are you kidding me? Well, who gonna go physical? You build a wall against Giannis. Joel Embiid will fall on notice. Who are you gotta bang so hard against? Who's banging? Who's a banging team in the East? I want to know. The Knicks are more finesse. The Pacers are more finesse. The East and the West mirror each other today. It's parity. Joe Mazzulla, you didn't get the memo. They awarded the league down. Things that used to be more East Coast West ain't the same no more. Teams be putting scoring points today. That chain got broke a long time ago. There was, and in college it's been changed. There was a time when you could tell the difference. You can't tell the difference. Physicality is because guys got to get through screens and picks, and they still get hit and pushed and bumped. And the so-called flagrant 1 and 2 on the fast break is dumb because why are defenders pushing guys when they've been beat on the back? Guys going in, he's going to dunk on you. Now, unless, of course, you do like Tayshaun Prince or Giannis, and you got a clear path block, you got no business going on somebody's head and landing on them or pushing them when they beat you. I seen some Bushwick play. That's not tough foul. That's just Bushwick. That's just dumb. That's just because you got burnt and you have to trip and do stupid stuff. That's what they're allowing. But they're not going to allow no physicality. They want guys to be like octopuses on the perimeter. That's why they bunny hide, Euro step, and all that. They are not going to change it back because they're trying to make it. I would tell it like this. They want it to look more like an offensive explosion. They want you to forget about anything you knew 50, 60 years ago, eventually 40 years ago, because if you keep having people like JJ Ridiculous and people say those plumbers and those maintenance men and the crew and the ladder men, I'm going to think of the original computer geeks. They just don't really fit them, but they're saying the narrative. And they'll say that the people weren't as athletic when Jordan played and all that because they played all around ball, but the physical aspect isn't coming back. Not like that. Joe Mazzulla just saying something. That's like me sitting up here. If you're a funk music fan, wishing there were funk bands, yeah, we can say it. The industry gonna let you play with rappers live on stage. They're not putting no money and no budget behind the next Earth, Wind, and Fire. There are people who can do that. They don't want that. Just like there's some big 7'2" kid right now who could both post up. They don't want another Shaquille O'Neal. They want Jokic's. They want what they got, and that's no diss. That's just a fact. That's what they want. So, Joe Mazzulla, take that up with Adam Silver, yo. Because you sitting up here talking about some stuff that ain't going to happen. It ain't going back. There's a lot of stuff we want to happen to be authentic. It ain't going to happen because they're going to use technology and they're going to use analytics. And this is what they're pushing, an agenda. You know it. And you just got to sit there and collect your jewelry, or they'll try to run you out and make a scene with you because this is where it's at. And you should know this. Yeah, well, as far as the game I missed, because it don't look the same. It don't even look the same from 10 years ago. That's a fact. So let alone 20, 30, 40 years, Joe Mazzulla. That era ain't coming back. You ain't going to have nobody getting popped in the chops where Robert Parrish goes upside Bill Lambier's head and the rest turn around and go, that ain't happening no more. Those days are gone. Gone. You know, you get a ooh, but you ain't going to get a ah because it's done a certain reason. But nice way to put it up there, you know. But you can pop off because you got that ring now, and that's what you're saying. Because you know that your team is the best team. You think you're slick. Because ain't nobody going to touch Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They ain't going to touch Jason Tatum. He's one of the face of the NBA. Pop off when you're in the catbird seat. Wasn't doing it when you weren't and when you was choking and blowing it to Miami. But now you're going to pop off and say that. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying what you proposing is absurd because they're not going to do that. That, unfortunately, is relegated to YouTube video clips and other sources that you go to watch your entertainment pleasures. That NBA ain't coming back. That style is a lost art. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shit. If you like, hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay true. I'm about one time. Peace.